The Legend of Two Intertwined Hearts. It is said that in a small mountain village, there lived a young woman named Claire whose heart was pure and whose eyes shone like the sky at dawn. Since childhood, her fate seemed intertwined with that of Ethan, a brave young man, the son of a humble carpenter. Growing up together, they learned to recognize something unique in each other, a feeling that went beyond words. Beneath the great tree of destiny, an ancient oak believed to have the power to bind souls meant to be together, Ethan and Claire carved two small intertwined hearts. If one day we are far apart, this tree will remind us that our love is stronger than any distance, Ethan whispered. But life, with its unpredictability, put them to the test. A year later, Ethan had to leave to seek his fortune in a distant city. His family was poor, and work in the village was scarce. "I'll write to you whenever I can," he promised, holding her hands. "And I will return as soon as I can build a future for us." Claire watched him leave, her heart heavy, as the autumn wind whispered words of farewell. Days, months, and then years passed. Ethan's letters came less and less frequently until they stopped altogether. The villagers murmured, "Forget him, Claire. If he were truly your destiny, he would be here." But she never stopped believing. Every day she visited the great oak, touching the carving of the two hearts, as if sending a silent message into the air. One day, however, news reached her that shattered her soul. Ethan had married in the city. Claire felt her world collapse. Had she waited for years, only to find out that her love had been an illusion? She struggled against despair, but eventually decided she would not let the pain consume her. She stopped waiting, but deep inside she could never forget. 15 years later, a mysterious man returned to the village. His face was marked by time and sorrow. When Claire saw him, her heart skipped a beat. Ethan had come back. But something was different about him. He was no longer the boy she remembered, but a man broken by life. His eyes were filled with pain, and when he saw her, he whispered, "Forgive me, Claire. I searched for you every day, but someone didn't want me to return." Confused and tormented, Ethan revealed the truth. He had written hundreds of letters, but many never reached her. Someone had made them disappear. His own employer, a greedy man who didn't want to lose him as a worker, had made sure Claire believed Ethan had forgotten her. By the time Ethan uncovered the deception, it was too late. He had been forced into a loveless marriage, but it had been a disaster. And now, after years of torment, he had returned to find out if Claire still had a place for him in her heart. Claire was overwhelmed with emotions. Could she truly trust him? Could she believe that fate had separated them through deceit? Without saying a word, she took him by the hand and led him under the great oak tree. Time had worn away the bark, but the carving of the two intertwined hearts was still there, intact. Ethan lowered his gaze, then looked into her eyes, his voice trembling. "Can time break what is eternal?" Claire smiled. She didn't answer right away. Instead, she placed her hand over the carving and traced the outline of the two hearts with her fingers. Then, without hesitation, she whispered, "True love never breaks. It finds its way back." That evening, as the moon bathed the village in its glow, the whispers faded. There were no more doubts, no more fear, no more pain. Only two intertwined hearts that had finally found their way back to each other. True love is not measured by time or distance, but by the will to find each other again, always. Sometimes life separates us to test us. But what is real will always find a way to return. And do you believe that true love can withstand time and hardship? Leave us a heart if you believe in destiny and second chances, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell for more exciting stories. Thanks.